That gut feeling you get before a big decision, the dread in your stomach before a hard conversation, the butterflies, none of that is a metaphor. You have a second brain wrapped around your intestines, 500 million neurons, more than your entire spinal cord. It runs almost completely on its own, and most of what it tells your actual brain isn't a request. It's an order, and your brain usually just complies. Here's the part that breaks how most people picture it. We assume the brain is command central. It decides, the body obeys. But roughly 90% of the traffic on the nerve connecting your gut and brain runs in the opposite direction. Gut to brain, not brain to gut. Your stomach isn't listening to your brain's opinions nearly as much as your brain is listening to your stomach's. And the chemical your gut is best known for making? It's not a digestive enzyme. It's the same molecule behind your mood. In the 1990s, a Columbia University neurobiologist named Michael Gershon spent years studying nerve cells in the gut that, by every textbook, shouldn't have been that complicated. Digestion was supposed to be simple plumbing. Instead, he found a nervous system with its own reflexes, its own memory-like circuits, and its own chemical messengers, operating almost entirely independent of the skull. He called it the enteric nervous system. The nickname stuck faster, the second brain. It's not a metaphorical brain. It's built from the same kind of tissue, using more than 30 of the same signaling chemicals your actual brain uses. Dopamine, GABA, and above all, serotonin. Ask most people where serotonin, the so-called happy chemical, is made, and they'll say the brain. That's backwards. Somewhere around 90 to 95% of your body's serotonin is produced in your gut, not your head. That serotonin isn't mainly there to make you happy. Its first job is running digestion, gut motility, moving food through your system. But some of it also activates the vagus nerve, the main superhighway between gut and brain, and rides that signal straight up into brain regions that regulate mood and stress. So when your gut is inflamed, imbalanced, or under stress, it's not just uncomfortable. It's sending a real physiological mood signal upstream. And your brain, hearing gut, treats it as trustworthy information. It doesn't know the message originated in your intestines instead of an actual threat. That's the lie. Not intentional deception, just a body that evolved to treat gut signals as urgent, honest, and worth acting on immediately. Most of the time, that served us well. Increasingly, it doesn't. This isn't just a plausible story. It's been tested directly. Mice raised completely germ-free, with no gut bacteria at all, show measurably different behavior. Altered stress responses, changed anxiety-like behavior, even changes in brain regions tied to fear and memory. Colonize their gut with normal bacteria, and some of those behavioral differences shift. Researchers have also tested this in the other direction. Give mice a strain of gut bacteria known to reduce anxiety-like behavior. It works. Cut the vagus nerve first, severing the gut-to-brain line, and the calming effect disappears completely. The bacteria are still there. The brain just isn't hearing from them anymore. Same story shows up with certain antidepressants. Some appear to work partly by acting on gut nerve activity, not just brain chemistry, and cutting that same vagus connection blunts their effect too. The wiring isn't a nice metaphor for trust your gut. It's a literal, measurable circuit, and messing with it changes behavior. This connection is now under serious investigation in diseases far outside anything you'd normally call a gut problem. In Parkinson's disease, some researchers now suspect the degeneration may begin in gut nerve tissue years, sometimes decades, before the classic tremor symptoms appear in the brain, then travel up the vagus nerve like an infection climbing a wire. Gut health is also being investigated in depression, anxiety, and autism spectrum conditions. Not as the sole cause, nobody credible claims that, but as one contributing signal in a system that's far more tangled with the brain than doctors assumed even 20 years ago. Your gut isn't downstream of your mental state. In a lot of cases, it may be upstream of it. Now, the necessary caveat, because this topic gets hijacked by supplement marketing constantly. The gut doesn't think. It has no thoughts, no consciousness, nothing resembling awareness. Second brain describes its complexity and independence, not intelligence. And no, a probiotic pill is not going to cure your anxiety. Most human trials on probiotics and mood show modest effects at best, and the honest answer from researchers is, we know the gut-brain connection is real and physiologically significant. We do not yet know how to reliably manipulate it with a supplement you can buy today. What the science actually supports is something less exciting to sell you. Diet quality, fiber diversity, sleep, and stress all measurably shift gut bacterial composition. And that composition talks to your brain constantly, whether you're paying attention or not. So next time you get a gut feeling before a decision, you're not being irrational. You're listening to 500 million neurons that have been quietly running their own analysis the whole time, and talking to your brain about it constantly, whether you asked or not. The unsettling part isn't that your gut has opinions. It's how much your brain trusts them without checking. Next time, I'm looking at the flip side of this whole series. Your mitochondria, the parts of your cells that make your energy, and why being tired might actually be them going on strike. Subscribe if you want that one when it's up. And if you've ever had a gut feeling turn out to be dead right, tell me about it in the comments.